What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. Cassie Ventura has entered the chat, okay? She is the star witness, now cooperating with the federal government regarding their investigation into Diddy. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Diddy, Cassie's ex, has been in touch with the authorities in the federal investigation, and she is cooperating as others who have sued him. She got her bag and she's like, okay, I'm ready to talk. I know that's right, Cassie. Sources with direct knowledge tell us that Cassie is among the witnesses that the feds have been working with in connection to the Diddy investigation. We're told that she has been working with them investigators for the past several weeks, presumably even before Diddy's homes were raided. Wow. Given the timing, it seems that Cassie may have helped the feds establish probable cause to get a judge to sign off on the search warrants. Other women, we're told, have also been in contact with the federal investigators. We don't know exactly what Cassie told the feds, but presumably it mirrors the lawsuit that she filed against Diddy, in which she alleged he forced her to be intimate with several male workers, S-workers, ard her, abused her, and gave her all kind of illegal substances over the course of their relationship. She also alleged that he was engaged in trafficking, trafficking. Diddy denied all of her claims, but then he settled 24 hours later in regards to her lawsuit. So as we all know, Cassie was in a long-term relationship with Diddy for about 10 years. That was a whole decade of her life, my goodness, before they split up in 2018. Her current husband is P. Diddy's former trainer. Unclear at this point which other women have also been cooperating with the feds. We also don't know if Diddy's ex-employee, Rodney Jones, has been interviewed at this point. But Diddy has called the allegations against him and the raids at his home a witch hunt. For now, he has not been arrested or charged with a crime. So the feds are steadily stacking their evidence, right? All these testimonies, Cassie was the initial domino, and for him to settle 24 hours afterwards, I'm sure that he probably thought that it was all going to go away if he paid her off. Little did he know that she was just the first domino in a long line of, people coming forward, speaking up. And I'm actually, really glad that she has not only got her bag, but now she gets to tell her story and she gets to help the federal government. Because what we have seen for way too long is these men who get into positions of power and they abuse their power and take advantage of, young women, young men. We've seen that with too many to count, right? R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, P. Diddy, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I'm glad that so many people are starting to speak out and, talk about their experiences. It's just heartbreaking that she stayed with him for so long. You know what I mean? Like, that was a decade. And the fact that he signed her, if you guys remember that contract that he had where she had to be with Bad Boy Records for a decade, I mean, that was ridiculous. I only remember one song from Cassie, Me and You. I don't even remember what else was on her album. But the fact that I feel like he deliberately sabotaged not only her career, but he tried to take over her whole life. You know what I mean? By getting her hooked on all these illegal substances and essentially stealing her youth. It's sinister. Diddy has done so wrong to so many people. The only person I can think that's really been vocal about it is Aubrey O'Day, but he did her whole crew wrong. All those young women, the group Dream, I remember, making the band. What happened after they got that cheesecake? He made them walk to Brooklyn. Let me tell you something. I've only been to New York a few times. I think like 5 or 6 times, right? I have some really good friends in the Bronx and in Queens, okay, in Brooklyn. Shout out to BK. But there is no way that I would have been walking to Brooklyn, right? Like, he didn't let them get on a subway or take a cab or anything. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like the cruelty being the point, trying to humiliate people and break their spirit. And I think it was like February or something. Like New York gets really, really cold. Um, he was just trying to punish them and humiliate them on national TV. And the fact that that group was extremely talented, as most of them were, the bad boy artists, but we didn't hear anything after they left that house. He used them for content and then he just tossed them out the window. You know, just Diddy has been sowing seeds of destruction for so long that this is, in my opinion, long overdue, right? And in federal cases, especially if the trafficking is international, that time that he's accrued in this case that they're building against him, he's in his 50s. That's pretty much going to be probably a life sentence. Just they're stacking, all these evidence. Cassie is the first one who filed the lawsuit. And then we have, Rodney Jones, and that's what led to the raids. Then we have, the young woman, the Jane Doe, who was 17, and they trafficked her from Detroit, him and Harvey Pierre. Then we have, I believe there's another Jane Doe. And then there's one other woman, and I forget her name, it escapes me, but she was an employee of Bad Boy Records, I believe. So the reason why, Diddy is still out walking about, of course, is because all these lawsuits were civil. But the federal government is trying to take, Cassie's testimony, Rodney Jones's testimony, all those things, and flip it into criminal. And listen, TikTok, that's all I can say, because I feel like, Cassie's going to be willing to testify in court. And if her story is corroborated with all these other people, right? Rodney Jones, the young woman from Detroit that said that she was underage, like they're building and compounding all of this evidence. So listen, P. Diddy, he said that all the allegations against him are false. However, everybody on you ain't lying, Diddy, right? Cassie, all these Jane Does, Rodney, Jones, all these people are not lying on you, right? Your ex-bodyguard, all these, if Cassie's husband, who used to be your trainer, comes forward, right, and speaks up and says, I saw X, Y, Z, and don't let, somebody of status like a Justin Bieber or Usher speak up. Usher's already gone on Howard Stern and said that he would never send his child to a quote unquote Diddy camp. I don't know what your mother was thinking. I mean, I'm sure she probably saw the financial advantages, but there's no amount of money that, in my mind, my framework, would be worth sending your child to someone who has such a reputation, right? Diddy's reputation preceded him. He was well known in the community. That's why when Cat Williams was on Club Shay Shay, he said, Diddy be wanting to party, but you got to tell him no. I feel like almost everybody, in the industry has, some kind of Diddy story or one degree of separation to where they're even warned to stay away from Diddy and his parties. They're consistently building, compounding that evidence. And those lawsuits before were civil, which is why, he's out and about, pacing up and down the Miami airport, hanging out with Stevie J and all this stuff. But Stevie J is named in the lawsuit as well. There is no amount of gospel music and wearing Biggie shirts, Biggie Small shirts in the studio that's going to save you if all these people come forward with all this testimony. And the lawyers that they have, the federal government, they're precise, right? The Southern District of New York, I feel like their record is high 90s. It's like 98 point something percent of conviction rate, 98, 99%. So they are, they're the top prosecuting court in the nation. So good luck with that, Diddy. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section about Cassie working with the federal government. I mean, listen, it's well overdue in my opinion, but I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.